You might not want to hear this, but I've been called the villain in my own love story. Am I the asshole for cheating? That's the question I've been grappling with ever since that moment when everything came crashing down. Hi, I'm Jake, 26, and this is a story about a relationship that spiraled beyond my wildest imagination, taking an unexpected turn that has left me questioning not only my actions, but also the trust and connection I thought I had built with Beth, a vibrant 21-year-old who had just burst into my life. Just a couple of months earlier, everything felt exhilarating. Beth and I began casually dating, and let me tell you, my relationship with her felt like a whirlwind. The excitement was palpable, electric even. Beth was open-minded and adventurous in ways I had only fantasized about. She was my partner in crime, a fellow explorer in the complexities of intimacy. We shared warm laughter over our spontaneous escapades and intoxicating conversations that stretched deep into the night. She sparked something in me that I had hardly explored in previous relationships. One weekend, after some drinks, Beth sent me an article on polyamory. I had never considered it before, but fueled by an adventurous spirit, we spent that night at a bar, flirting and enjoying the surroundings. As we sipped cocktails, our gazes wandered, locking onto this beautiful woman named Rachel. The chemistry was immediate. Beth and I exchanged knowing glances, the kind that said, "This could be fun." And so, we took the plunge and invited Rachel back to our place. That night was a blur of passion and intense emotions. But looking back now, I realize I was so caught up in trying to meet Beth's desires that I didn't pay attention to my own needs. It felt exhilarating at first, the three of us entwined in the sheets, but as the days rolled on, I found myself feeling neglected. It became evident that our nights together began to cater more to Beth and Rachel's whims, while I felt like I was fading into the background, like a mere supporting character in a film where my name wasn't even in the credits. Still, I wanted to make things work. After reading more about polyamory, I realized I could also have my own play partner. So, I set up a Tinder account and soon swiped right on someone named Jenny. The conversations were flirty and exhilarating. I felt alive again. It was an escape, a thrill that I had been yearning for amidst the swirling storm of emotions with Beth and Rachel. But the guilt was a shadow that always loomed, trailing my every move. I saw it in the way I would check my phone, nervously glancing at messages from Beth while I was out with Jenny. It felt wrong, yet exhilarating. Then came that fateful day when Beth texted me that she was going for coffee with Rachel, and that was the breaking point. I felt a rush of anger and frustration bubbling up inside me. How was it fair for me to be left out of their little coffee rendezvous, especially when I had hardly gotten to explore outside of my experiences with them? It was a classic case of what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. In a moment, fueled by impulse, I invited Jenny over. I hesitated to think much about it. This was all supposed to be new, right? But as Jenny and I sunk into the couch, my heart racing with excitement, I found myself brimming with guilt and adrenaline. That couch welcomed us into a world of passion, and within moments, we found ourselves in a rather compromising position. Then it happened. I heard the familiar sound of keys jingling, and before I could process what was happening, the door swung open. There stood Beth, shocked and furious, her eyes wide with disbelief. The world as I knew it shattered in that single moment. Hysterically, she kicked Jenny out, her emotions erupting like a volcano. I tried to explain, to justify what had just happened, but my words meant nothing now. Beth locked herself in the bathroom, and I could hear her muffled sobs seeping through the door. For the next several hours I texted, pleaded, but my phone remained silent, a blank canvas reflecting my despair. Beth was firm in her belief that I had cheated, shunned the entire idea of polyamory as if it was an affront. But that wasn't how I wanted it to be. I never wanted to deceive Beth. I thought we were exploring together, figuring things out as we went along. I felt like a puppet in someone else's play, neglecting my own needs, hoping she would reciprocate. I felt like this was the last frame of a movie I never wanted to end. I thought we were on the same path. Why was it so easy for her to assume betrayal when the rules were still being written? Am I the asshole for trying to find my own happiness when it seemed like she was moving on with someone else effortlessly? So, here I am, pouring my heart out into a narrative that has left me high and dry in anger and confusion. I know I messed up, but I also seek validation in my decision, however poor it might have been. Am I the villain in this story, or is there a little gray area where both parties failed to communicate and set clear boundaries? What would you have done if you found yourself in my shoes, exploring the chaotic yet thrilling world of polyamory? Would you have approached things differently, or would you have taken a leap like I did? I'm still left wondering, seeking clarity in the mind-numbing confusion of love, trust, and mistakes. What's the right path forward, and is there a way for me to mend what feels irreparably broken? What would you have done?